I wanted to ask you about schools opening. Do you think schools are going to open, Ms. Samson, for next semester?
So right now, schools are preparing contingency plans, and most schools are coming up with 3 different ways that we're going to approach things. So no one really knows, because we could open for a month, but if what happens, like scientists are now predicting that we'll have a huge wave again in September. So even if we open for August, we'd have to close again in September. And so some are preparing for that, because at least we could get students resources during that month, like hand out the Chromebooks again and make sure they all have hotspots and packets and everything. And then if we have to shut down again for another month or two, that's one plan. Some are trying to plan for if we have to start this way, which would be awful way to start a school year. So no one really knows right now, and we'll have to wait on what the governor tells us we can do or have to do, because he's been dictating, and he tells the state superintendent, which then trickles down to us, and they've been kind of calling all the shots lately. But most schools, are preparing at least 3 different plans. So I would like to start school, but if it's not safe, and if we're just going to spread it more, then that doesn't make any sense. So we might have to start online.
Just so you know, that varies from state to state.
That too.
Every state has its own game plan. Like Penn State University, they've already determined they will not be starting their school year with students on campus. They've already made that determination. A lot of the universities have done that for obvious reasons.
Yeah, online, I mean, in North Carolina, they did that as well. Like my dad is a professor at Davidson, and they've already declared they're not starting on campus. So I think it's very different between the universities versus your public elementary through high school. Because a lot of parents, are complaining because they would like to go back to work and everything, and they can't do that if they have to babysit their kids. And they're struggling. There's a lot of parents that have been advocating to go back because they're struggling to watch their own children, and they feel like they can't teach their own children, so they would like to send them back. But to do that safely, I'll have to see what our leadership decides. And then in general, Georgia's leadership, I don't feel has done a very good job personally, and that's probably why Georgia will have a big spike, because he let us out way too early, and no one here is taking it very seriously comparatively to other states. Like I have friends in New York and Philadelphia, and they can't believe what our state is doing. But that's a whole other problem.
We're already seeing a spike now. In fact, Florida also, some of the beaches opened up early, and now they're seeing an increase in the virus, and so they're starting to shut things down again, and they've canceled like for the month of June. So again, this is going to keep happening unless people just shut it off, stay at home, let the wave pass, and then resume life. And I know that's a hard thing to do, because people need an income, they want their kids in school, we need certain things. But the only real way to stop this virus is to take away the element of how it spreads, and that's human contact. So
the concern is feeding our children, and we need to buy our food. That's really, I just had an experience at Aldi's, and someone, a man and a woman, walked away with a full cart of food without paying, packed it in their car. Yes. And one of the manager, which was a young girl, ran out. They took out the license plates of their vehicle, so they couldn't be followed. They had masks on, so you couldn't really see their faces. But people are hungry, and that's how it's really getting scary. Because I couldn't blame them. I'm like, I can't, like, what can I? That is food. You're not, you don't have a gun and trying to get our money. You packed food. And I imagine you guys have children. And so that is what's scary. what the economy is going to turn into, what's going to happen, what may happen to our safety, our way of living.
Yeah.
And